Garbage in, garbage out. Lesson preview. Waste and its disposal. Types of wastes. Segregation of waste. Recycling biodegradable waste. Vermicomposting. Reusing and recycling non-biodegradable waste. Waste management. We all generate waste or garbage every day. Waste is thrown out from homes, schools, colleges, shops, offices, and industries. Our daily activities generate so much waste without realizing its magnitude. We eat oranges and ground nuts while traveling in buses and trains, and throw away the peels and shells. Children eat chips and throw away the packets. We sharpen pencils, and shavings are thrown away as waste. We also throw away scraps of paper, spoiled food, used plastic bags, cartons, food tins, wrappings, newspapers, broken bags, etc. Waste and its disposal. Waste is any material which cannot be used in its original form. The garbage from homes is picked up by the waste picker during the day from the bins for disposal. Has it ever crossed your mind what would happen if this garbage is not removed? The amount of garbage is so huge that its disposal is a big problem. It cannot be burnt as it generates smoke and poisonous gases. If thrown out, it can cause soil, air or water pollution. The garbage from a city is usually disposed of in a low-lying open area called a landfill. Here a part of garbage which can be used again is separated out from the rest. The unusable component is spread over the landfill and covered with a layer of soil. Once the landfill is completely filled, it is converted into a park or playground. No building or residential flats can be constructed on it for a number of years. Types of wastes. Wastes can be classified into two types on the basis of their ability to get decomposed. Biodegradable wastes. Non-biodegradable wastes. Biodegradable wastes. The waste material that can be broken down or decomposed by microorganisms into simpler substances is called biodegradable waste. The waste derived from living matter is biodegradable. This includes peels and cuttings of fruits and vegetables, meat, bones, cow dung, leaves, flowers, paper, agricultural waste, etc. Non-biodegradable wastes. The waste material which cannot be broken down or decomposed by microorganisms into simpler substances is called non-biodegradable waste. This waste does not decay and hence cannot be mixed with the soil. Examples are plastics, bags, buckets, mugs, packaging material, etc., glass, old bottles, broken glass pieces, bulbs, and metals, metal scrap, cold drink cans, pins, needles, containers. Activity. Making compost. Collect the garbage from your house of 2 days. Divide it into biodegradable and non-biodegradable parts. Divide each into 2 heaps. Label the heaps A, B, biodegradable, and C, D, non-biodegradable. Put one biodegradable and one non-biodegradable heap into 2 plastic bags, and close their mouths tightly. Now make 4 pits in your kitchen garden. Put all 4 heaps into separate pits and cover them with soil. Remove the soil after 1 week. Smell the garbage and observe its color. If the garbage is rotted completely, no foul smell will be emitted and the color will be black. Note whether the garbage has not changed at all, rotted partially, or rotted completely. If rotting is incomplete, cover the bags again with soil. Keep observing after every week, and fill your observations in the table below. Look at your observations, and answer the following questions. What kind of garbage can be used for composting, biodegradable or non-biodegradable? What effect does keeping garbage in plastic bags have before composting? Why? The heap containing biodegradable waste not kept in plastic bag decomposes completely and there is no smell. This can be mixed with soil when sowing plants. It makes a good manure which will provide nutrients to the soil. The rotting of waste and its conversion into manure is called composting. Reuse and recycle. Another efficient way of reducing the amount of waste to be thrown away is to reuse whatever can be used again. Yet another way is to recycle it. Recycling involves collecting waste materials and processing them to make new products. Both reusing and recycling reduce the amount of disposable waste and keep the environment clean. Segregation of waste. We have seen two types of wastes which require different methods of disposal. Therefore, these two types of wastes should be collected separately. If not collected separately, they need to be segregated before disposal. Therefore, the municipality generally provides separate dustbins for the two types of wastes. One is colored blue and the other is colored green. The green bin is for biodegradable waste and the blue bin is for non-biodegradable waste. In our houses too, we should collect the garbage in two separate bins. Ideally, there should be a third garbage bin for toxic waste, poisonous waste, such as medicines, batteries, dried paint, dried shoe polish, etc. These wastes are much more difficult to dispose of safely. Recycling biodegradable waste. You must have often seen gardeners burning dried leaves in parks. Farmers also burn the dried parts of crop plants and leaves in their fields after harvesting. However, this should not be done. Burning them produces a lot of smoke and gases which are harmful to our health. We should convert these products into a useful compost. Biodegradable waste can be recycled by the method of composting. It is a natural process that recycles the nutrients in the waste to produce manure or compost. We have seen in the activity how kitchen waste can be converted into manure or compost. This is one of the oldest ways of disposal. It recycles the nutrients in the waste to yield manure or compost. Compost is rich in carbon and nitrogen. It is excellent for growing plants. Vermicomposting. Vermicomposting is another method of preparing compost with the help of a type of earthworms called redworms. Activity. Making of vermicompost. Dig a pit about 30 cm deep in a shady corner of the garden. The place should not be too hot or too cold. Alternatively, a wooden box can also be used. First spread 1 to 2 cm thick layer of sand. Then spread biodegradable waste such as peels of fruits and vegetables, leaves, paper, wood, etc. Dried animal dung can also be used. Powdered eggshells may also be added as they aid the redworms in grinding food. Sprinkle water to make the layer wet. Do not press the layer of waste. Ensure that the layer has enough air and water. Now the home for redworms is ready and you can put them in the pit. Cover them loosely with a gunny sack or an old sheet of cloth or a layer of grass. You can bury vegetable and fruit waste, tea and coffee remains and weeds about 2-3 cm inside the pit. This is the food for the redworms. Do not use waste containing oil, salt, meat, and dairy products. If these things are added, disease-causing germs start growing in the pit. Every 2-3 days gently mix and move the top layers of the pit. A redworm can eat food equal to its own weight in a day. Redworms eat the biodegradable waste and convert it into compost. They will take about a month. In this time, they will also double in number by reproducing. Redworms survive best in warm and humid conditions. Recycling paper. You must have seen your parents selling old newspapers to the junk dealer. Junk dealer sells them to factories which use them to recycle paper. You can also use part of the newspapers at home for covering books or making paper bags. Recycling the paper means lesser trees being cut down for the manufacture of paper and also lesser garbage needs to be disposed of. Let us make recycled paper at home. Activity. Take waste paper from old newspapers, magazines or notebooks. Tear it into small pieces. Do not use shiny, plastic-coated paper. Take a bucket of warm water. Add the pieces of paper to it. Add a little bit of arrowroot powder, starch. Let the paper soak for 5 to 6 hours. Make a thick paste by stirring the paper. You may pound the paper with a pestle and mortar to make it soft. Spread the wet paste on a wire mesh. Press gently to make the thickness of the paste uniform and to drain off excess water. You can spread a sheet of newspaper on the paste to soak off extra water. Carefully remove the layer of paste and keep it in the sun to dry. Place some paperweights on top of the paste so that the paper may not curl up. Handmade paper is ready once dried. You can use this paper to paint. Note: you may add color, flower petals or dried leaves in the paste before spreading. In this way, you can get beautiful recycled paper. Reusing and recycling non-biodegradable waste. We can reuse a number of items at home. We can make baskets from old used polythene bags. Cans and bottles can be used to store items. Old tins/cans of juices can be converted into beautiful pen holders. Larger tins can be used as dustbins. The rest of items cannot be reused and can be sold to a junk dealer for recycling. Junk dealer takes the wastes to factories where broken glass bottles and tumblers are melted to make new glass products. Cans are melted to make new cans, and iron scrap is melted to make new iron objects. Plastic is widely used today. A variety of goods like bags, utensils, shoes, bags, toothbrushes, combs, bottles, buckets, polythene bags, parts of computer, TV, radio, and furniture are all made of plastic. But most of the plastic is non-biodegradable. We have seen this in activity. Problems arise due to excessive use of plastics without their proper disposal. Plastic bags may contaminate foodstuffs stored in them as they may contain poisonous dyes which are absorbed by food. At times, shopkeepers give us food items in bags which have been used earlier for different purposes. Recycled plastic should not be used for keeping edible items. We must use only food-grade plastic for this purpose. Burning plastic is harmful for health. It gives out harmful fumes and gases which cause pollution and health problems, including cancer. Plastic finds its way into drains and sewage pipes and blocks them. During monsoons, it may lead to waterlogging at various places and can become a breeding ground for disease-causing organisms. Animals may feed on plastic bags along with leftover food and succumb to death. The only way to minimize plastic waste is to recycle it. Approximately 60–80% of plastic bags generated as waste are collected to be recycled. Several states in India have already imposed a ban on the use of polythene bags. Advantages of recycling. Recycling of waste has the following advantages: reducing consumption of raw materials, keeping surroundings cleaner and hygienic, saving landfill spaces used for garbage disposal, reducing energy requirement for manufacture of new products, reducing environmental impacts accruing from waste treatment and disposal, saving money in terms of production, procurement, and disposal costs. Waste management. Minimize use of plastic products. Carry your own cloth or jute bag for shopping. Do not use plastic bags for storing eatables. Do not throw plastic bags anywhere after use. Do not burn plastic or plastic bags. Do not put garbage in plastic bags and throw them away. Segregate waste at home into biodegradable and non-biodegradable wastes, and dispose them separately. Dig a compost pit at home, and put biodegradable waste in it. Recycle paper. Do not waste paper. Write on both sides of paper. Leftover paper from notebooks and registers should be torn and used. Try to sell all recyclable items to a junk dealer. Throw waste in separate bins kept by the municipality. Remember to minimize generation of garbage The more we generate, the greater will be the problem of its disposal.